Then we have DLP policy. What exactly is DLP? Let's configure this. As its name suggests, it is data loss prevention policy. We are preventing our data leakage happening or happening outside our organization. A person is there and that person is sharing your confidential information or forwarding emails outside your organization. That is unethical, unprofessional. Then we have to protect that as an admin. So we have DLP policy. Okay, before going ahead with the slides, let's try to configure this. So I should be able to see DLP policy here. Okay, and in that I have two options. Either I can create a policy from scratch. I can customize my policy. Second, I can use the ready-made templates and I can set up my policy. I can configure my DLP policy. So this is a dashboard where I get to see different DLP policy related information, top activities detected, protect sensitive information. And here, if you can notice, it says 451 documents containing medical healthcare data, 3 documents containing IP and trade secrets data, 4 documents containing customer account data, 570 documents containing financial data. So how they have calculated this using classifiers. Classifiers we have already talked about. Then you get to see policies. Okay, some default policies are there. Default policy for Teams, default Office 365 policy, then devices policy is also there. So these are the default policies. In case you want to delete that, you can delete this as well, right? You can modify this. You can modify this as well if you want to modify this, right? And then you can do one thing. You can go ahead and you can customize your policy. In that, it says data stored in connected sources and data in browser activity. So you can select this. Okay. So basically, what exactly it means data stored in connected sources. It means sources that are connected to your organization, either automatically, like Microsoft 365 data sources, or manually, like manage device policies, scope, right? Data in browser activity, apply real-time protection to data in motion associated with cloud application activity enforced through the Edge browser. And in that, if I select this, further I get to see these options. These are the templated one. Ready-made templates are there. And this is the customized one. You can create your policy from scratch. So let's try to do one thing. Let's try to understand what are these different categories are there. Okay. First of all, I selected enhanced. And in that, I get to see some regulation. US Gramm-Leach-Billy Act. RIP Act is there. US Health Insurance Act, HIPAA Act is there, Australia Privacy Act. And according to that, these policies are created. So if I select the first one, it says helps detect the presence of information subject to Gramm-Leach-Billy Act, including information like social security numbers, SSN numbers, basically credit card numbers. Okay. And what information it will protect? Business, tax related information, finance, budget, credit card number, bank account numbers, SSN numbers, passport, license number, right? If I navigate to another one, so the same way information is given that what it will protect. Okay, these are enhanced categorized policies. If I navigate you to financial one, I should be able to see the financial related policies. Okay, SWIFT code, Australia tax file number, Australia bank account number, credit card number, Canada, France. Okay, medical health. I get to see medical related and privacy related information. All right, so let's try to do one thing. Let's try to create this policy using this template, Australia financial data. Okay, let's select this. Next, in case you want to edit the name, you can edit this description, you can add over here. Next option, assign admin units. So you can assign admins to this policy as well, and choose where you want to apply this policy: Exchange, email, SharePoint sites, OneDrive accounts, Teams chat, channel messages, devices. So whenever you select devices and you set up DLP policy, we call this as endpoint DLP policy. Okay. So you can select these locations. Okay. Instances, on-premises repositories are also there. So you can select whatever you want to select. You can change the scope and you can edit this as well. Then you have defined policy settings. In that, I do have two options. Either review and customize default policy settings from template. Second, create or customize advanced DLP rules. Okay. So try to create one customized rule. Okay. So let's select second option, next. And in that, I get to see two rules are already there. Now, these two rules are appearing from where? The policy templates that we have selected. It includes two rules. Okay. You can turn them off, you can turn them on, both of them. You can turn off, you can turn on both of them. You can edit them, copy them, change the priority, delete them, right? These are the ready-made rules that we have in the template. Okay. These are the conditions, actions. You can see what exactly they are, uh, how they are configured. And then you can go ahead, you can create your own customized rule. If I select that, let me name it as test rule description. So this is a customized rule. Now I want to customize my policy. So name, description not mandatory, conditions are there. When this rule should be applicable, content is shared from Microsoft 365, document properties, document could not be scanned, document or attachment is password protected, document did not complete scanning, file extension is document name contains word or phrases, document size equals or greater than. All right. So let's say content contains. If sir, if a content is there and that is containing what? Let's again put a condition in that. Sorry. Here we have already selected this content contains, and what that content should be containing: sensitive information types, sensitivity labels, trainable classifiers. Sensitive informations and trainable classifiers, we know we are yet to discuss sensitivity labels. So you can add these options. Okay, let's say sensitive information type. So this should be triggered when it will see this SITs. Okay, or trainable classifier, you can select profanity, threat, discrimination, anything. Okay. Now, this is a condition. What is the next thing after condition? Action. Restrict access or encrypt the content in Microsoft 365 locations. Start a Power Automate workflow. Okay. So you can select this one, any one of them. First of all, let's say I selected restrict access or encrypt the content in Microsoft 365 locations. So it gives me one option: block users from receiving email or accessing SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams files and Fabric and Power BI items. Block everyone. Block only people outside your organization. Okay. And I get to see other options. User notification. Use notification to inform your users and help educate them on the proper use of sensitive information. So for example, I say I want to notify my users. Okay. Again, within that, I get to see more options, email notification. So basically, notify whom? Notify the user who sent, shared, or last modified the content, notify these people, attach matching email message to the notification. Okay, of course, emails. Policy tips. What are the policy tips? Policy tips are nothing but kind of pop-up or notification warning, kind of instructions, right? That you are sharing this data outside your organization. It is against policy. This is a policy tip. And in case you want to customize this, you can customize this. You can add your message over here, right? Or show the policy tip as a dialog for the end users before send. Okay. You can have this option as well, or provide a compliance URL for end users for education purpose. Like here we have this URL, right? It says learn more. Okay. It is hyperlink, and if you click on this, it will navigate you over their article. Okay. So same way, if you have this, you can use this option. Overrides are there. Policy will be shown to you, to end users, that you are sharing this. It means you are sharing this outside your organization, and this conflicts with your DLP policy. But still, you override that. Because certain scenarios are there. For example, let's say I'm sharing one information outside my organization. My policy is restricting me, but I'm sending it for genuine reason. This is genuine. This is my business requirement. So in that scenario, your admins give you this option that you can override. Okay, so require a business justification to override the rule automatically if they report it as false positive, or require the end user to explicitly acknowledge the override. Okay, these options are available. So you can override. Incident reports. Use this severity level in admin alerts and reports. Low, medium, high. Send an alert to admins where when a rule match occurs. Send email alerts to these people. Okay, so you can add or remove people. Okay, group, we can add other admins as well. Send alert when volume of match activities reaches a threshold. So for example, in that, होगा. So basically, that's fine. Okay. And okay, send every alert every time an activity matches the rule. But what if you are receiving hundreds of alerts? So it will be very hectic, and it will be overloaded for any admin. So that's why what do? We group the alerts. Okay, and we say, all right, if you see 15 similar alerts, then only raise one alert or notification. Okay, meeting minutes, size, matched activities. Use email incident report to notify you when policy match occurs. So you can notify these people, right? You can add these people within your organization. You can add other admins as well. Okay? It will show you users. Then we have incident report. All incident reports include information about the item that was matched, where the match occurred, and the rules and policies it triggered. You can also include the following information in the report: the name of the person who last modified the content, the types of sensitive content that matched the rule's severity level, the content that matched the rule, including the surrounding text, the item containing the content that matched the rule, right? And these are the additional options. So in case you have multiple rules, which should be taking the precedence. So the template that we have selected, it already has two rules. We are creating the third one, the customized one. Okay, so you can set the order in which this rule will be selected for evaluation. Okay, so I'm saving this particular rule that we have created. This is a customized one. Right now, right now we have three rules. Okay, first of all, these are the ones that are included in the template that we have selected. Okay, so you can edit this rules, copy this, replicate this, or you can change the priority order. You can delete this. Okay, so basically I have three rules. I can turn on, turn off any one of them, any two, like whatever my organization requirement is. I can turn them off, I can turn them on, right? So I can see the condition actions for every rule. Okay, this is how we create the customization. Then if I navigate you, next option, policy mode. So we have created this policy, but I'm not very sure if it will work as expected or not. So instead of that, what I do, instead of turning on this policy with an immediate effect, I do run this policy in simulation mode. So basically, it will just evaluate its impact. Actual action won't be taken. So here it says run the policy in simulation mode. Second, turn the policy on immediately. Leave the policy turned of. So your policy will be created, and you can turn on this later on as well. These are the policy modes, and next, and my policy is created. Okay. So it should be created. It's creating. So this is nothing but is DLP policy. It means we are preventing data leakage. Okay. Outside our organization, we selected template, we selected scope of this particular policy, location, policy settings are there, right? Policy mode is there. You can have multiple DLP policies, and again, how they will be evaluated according to the order. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me again. So there's nothing but this is a DLP policy. Okay, and you should be able to configure this policy. It's very important and useful policy for admins. Okay, and you can see these policies. This is the one that we have set up right now. So it says sync in progress. Okay, mode priority. So which will take the precedence? Policy with lower number. Higher the number, lower the priority, lower the number, higher the priority. Okay. So you can delete these policies, you can modify these policies, you can edit these policies, right? This DLP policy. And according to that, you should be able to see the alerts as well. Okay. This is DLP policy. So I can create my DLP policies, right? So it says DLP is implemented. By defining and applying DLP policies, DLP detects sensitive items by using deep content analysis, not by just a simple text scan. Yes, those are very powerful. Okay. And they use machine learning algorithms and other methods to detect content that matches an organization's DLP policy. DLP provides insights and reports that help organizations understand their data landscape, identify risk, implement appropriate controls to manage those risks. Then DLP policies enable organizations to monitor the activities and users take on sensitive items at rest, in transit, and in use. It takes productive actions. So with DLP policy, you can identify, monitor, and automatically protect sensitive items. When a user attempts to take a prohibited action like copying a sensitive item to an unapproved location, DLP policies can show a pop-up policy tip to the user that warns them that they might be trying to share a sensitive item inappropriately, block the sharing, and through a policy tip, allow the user to override the block and capture the user's justification, block the sharing without the override option, log and move sensitive items at rest to a secure quarantine location, and prevent Teams chat from displaying sensitive information. So these are the use case scenarios for DLP policies. This is something you can achieve with the help of DLP policies. Then we have more information about DLP policies, that what it can do, and we can have simulation mode. Okay, what templates you can select, what you want to monitor, admin scoping, where you want to monitor, like what should be the location, exchange, email, SharePoint site, OneDrive accounts, what should be the conditions, actions, right? We have talked about this. Then we have endpoint DLP policy. So basically, if you remember, I told you one thing, whenever you select devices as location, that policy, we call it as DLP, endpoint DLP policy. So it extends the activity monitoring and protection capabilities of Microsoft Purview DLP to sensitive items that are physically stored on Windows 10, 11, and Mac OS devices. So what are the use cases are there? How it will work? So your organizations can audit and manage these types of activities like upload to cloud service or access by unallowed browser, copy to another application, process, or item, copy to USB removable media, copy to a network share, print a document, copy to a remote session, copy to a Bluetooth device, create an item, rename an item, right? Then we have device management, enables the collection of customer data from devices. So this Data includes any information that users create, store, process, or transmit within an organization, including text, images, audio, video, and other types of digital content. Device management brings this collected data into Microsoft Purview solutions like Endpoint DLP and Insider Risk Management. To enable device management, organizations must onboard all devices they want to include as locations in DLP policies. Right? So basically, whatever onboarded devices are there, they'll be part of this particular endpoint DLP policy. Next, we have managed compliance in Microsoft 365.